for little acorns everywhere, that they may grow in love into mighty oaks. Ahonu presents the Angel of the Forest. Deep in the ancient oak forest, there lived an earth angel. She lived in a cave that lay hidden behind a rock, at the foot of 2 large oak trees. She was sought by many, but found by few. It was said she was only found by those whose hearts were pure, whose intentions were wholesome, and whose purpose was truth. One day, a man was lost in the forest. He had walked for hours seeking answers to why everything in this world dies. He asked the trees, he asked the rocks, he asked the forest animals, but all he heard was "Ask the angel of the forest." "But how do I find her?" he asked, and every time the answer was the same. "You will find her in the cave of creation, by the twin oaks." He sat to rest on a rock, at the edge of a small cave, between 2 gigantic oaks. The oaks whispered to him, saying, "Sit and rest, your journey is over. You have found what you came for. The angel of the forest is here." Just then, an angel appeared and shrouded him in a mist of inner and outer peace. He felt calm, unafraid. He rested in her presence and was healed by her closeness. "Come with me," she said gently. "Come with me to a higher place. Come with me into the cave of creation. I will show you where to find all the answers you seek. I will help you understand why you feel such loss and help you find peace and joy again." Her voice was soft like a lullaby, gentle and reassuring. Her words were enchanting, and he followed her into the caverns of his own heart. Inside the cave of his heart was lit with rainbow-coloured light that seemed to come from the gentle pulsating walls, from the rhythm of the cave floor, and even from the air itself. As his eyes adjusted to the new light, he could see walls and walls of books. There were sections of manuscripts, aisles of drawings, corridors of ancient texts, and walls and ceilings full of sacred artwork. As his mind tried to comprehend the enormity of the knowledge in the cave, the knowledge turned from words on a page into living pictures formed by iridescent colours that shaped and shifted like soap bubbles. The information changed fast, like the colours of the feathers of a hummingbird, or flickered like the brightly coloured wings of the Menelaus blue morpho butterfly. "This is Akasha," she said slowly. "Here is the knowledge of all creation. It is, in fact, everywhere, but very few see it. You only see it now because the rainbow light of the purity of your own heart lifts the veil from before your eyes." He looked at her and realized she was speaking telepathically. No sound was coming from her mouth, yet he could hear it in his mind clearly. She was preempting his questions too. Before another question could form on his lips, answers flooded into his mind about why everything here dies, where he had come from originally, and why he was on earth. For the first time in his life, he understood why he was born to his particular mother, why he was born where he was born, why his sisters and brothers were in his family, why he travelled where he did, who his friends were, and even why he now sought the angel of the forest. Everything became clear. "What do you feel?" she asked. "For the first time, I see the world differently." He was sure what he was saying was what he really felt. "I realized the world I saw before was not real. People die in that world, but now I know they don't really die in spirit. And now that I see it all so clearly, it's like the old world holds nothing that I want." "What do you want?" "I want to stay here. I don't want to leave Akasha ever." He seemed to be more certain of that than of anything ever in his life. "The old world is full of fear and death and lies. It contains nothing that satisfies me. Everything there, even death, is an illusion, and everything here is real, and so full of peace and love and wonder and joy and—" Her thoughts interrupted him. "There and here are the same," she whispered. He was aware she was speaking, but there was no words to be heard, just a loving kindness in the silence of her voice. "You can just see it all more clearly here. What you see now is everywhere. You just haven't looked closely enough. Your ego has kept you like a hamster in a wheel, always seeking but never finding. Everything you ever sought was everywhere all the time. Now that your eyes and heart have opened, you will see the grand design when you leave the cave too." She sounded so certain. Her conviction was embracing him with newfound courage. He felt a surge of personal power he had never felt before. He found his mind focused on love instead of guilt and blame and fear and uncertainty. He felt the sensation that the angel was holding him in a soft, safe embrace. "Go now. You will take this light of love with you, knowing it has always been with you. Love always is and always will be, and if you ever feel you've lost it, just come back to your heart, back to the cave of creation, and I will be here to remind you of the value of your presence." He stood up, tall and certain, and with one last look around the cave, he took in all the knowledge of creation in a single glance. He turned to go. "Oh, there's one last thing," she said, her breath almost perceptible in his ears. "Take these with you and plant them deep." She placed 2 oak seeds in the palm of his hand. "If you nurture and protect them, they will guide and protect you in like kind. This is the way of the world. These seeds have already been planted deep in the inner world of your knowing. Now plant them deep in the outer world of your telling, so they will guide and protect others." He made for the cave entrance, as if time had stood still, and everything was just a distant memory. He found himself sitting on the small rock between 2 enormous oak trees. A voice came softly in his head. It was the angel of the forest. "All the knowledge of the future tree is in the seed," she said. "In the tiny acorn is the mighty oak. So plant only love, that it may grow eternally. It is love that guided you here, and it is love that will guide you and all your earth family home."